babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be sharing all about my 2-month post-op update. Now, if you are new here and don't know anything about my surgery, I do have several videos on my channel. I have a playlist. I will go ahead and link that in the eye, and I would encourage you, if you're interested, to check out that playlist and kind of go back and check out some of those older videos, because I do answer a lot of questions in all those videos. I have a pre-op video. I also have a surgery experience video, as well as my 1-month post-op, and I do a lot of Q&A in those videos. So if you guys have any questions, I would encourage you to check those videos out to see if I've answered them there. But please also don't hesitate to ask your questions in a comment here. I would love to answer them, but if I feel like I answered them more thoroughly in another video, I will direct you there, or you can just check out the playlist for yourself. Now, as I said, this is my 2-month post-op. I was officially 2 months post-op on the 9th, but I am putting this video up a little bit later. If you didn't already know, well, I'm sure you could tell by the title, but I did get a mommy makeover, which was a tummy tuck and breast augmentation. Now, usually when I do my update videos or surgery videos, I do little Q&As. I do ask you guys on my community tab as well as on my Instagram account if you guys have any questions for me to answer in these videos, but this month there really wasn't any questions. Everybody just had some really kind words and compliments to share with me, so thank you so much for the love and support. But because of that, this video will be a little bit shorter, which is probably a good thing. But what I plan to do is just share a little bit of what I have noticed within the last month. I'm going to also, of course, show my body before and after, do a little side-by-side so you can see what my body looked like before surgery and 2 months post-op. And additionally, I'm also going to go ahead and show my body 1 month post-op as well as 2 months post-op side-by-side, so you guys can see the difference of how everything's looking just 1 month apart. I just feel like that's really interesting, and you guys would probably enjoy being able to see that as well as see my progress. So anyways, with that being said, I want to talk about some of the things I'm noticing. Now, as I mentioned, I have some notes, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing, so don't get jumbled up or get off track. I'm just going to kind of talk through some of the things I'm noticing, and then we will get to my before and after footage. So as I mentioned, I got a mommy makeover, which included tummy tuck and breast augmentation. I did get a breast lift with silicone implants, for those who did not know, or if you are new here. I don't tend to talk a lot about my breast augmentation because for me personally, I feel like that's more so a secondary part of my surgery. I mean, yes, I got it done at the same time, but I feel like for me, at least when I was doing all the research, I was more so interested in the tummy tuck and how that would work and everything. So I feel like I kind of focused a little bit more on that. So if you guys have any questions for me concerning my breast augmentation, please don't hesitate to ask. I have answered questions in previous videos and things like that, but I don't want to gloss over anything. It's just that I seem to be, or at least I feel most excited about my tummy tuck and sharing that, because I feel like the results of that is just so much more interesting. So anyways, I did want to mention a little update concerning my breasts though. They have settled quite a bit since the first month, and definitely look and feel a lot more natural, whereas before, I think because of the swelling, they were, well, when you get implants, they kind of sit very high, and so you have to wear the little belt thingy. I can't remember what the proper name for it is, but it's a little belt thing you wear around your chest to kind of help push them down so they can settle nicely. You kind of have to massage them and things like that to get them to settle. And like I was gonna say, because of the swelling, they kind of will look and feel a little bit bigger and more swollen and really firm for a bit until they start settling down and the swelling goes down. But this last month, I have noticed that there's a lot less swelling in them. They look and feel much more natural. They have settled quite a bit in my 2nd month. Lastly, I had mentioned previously that I did regain sensation in my right nipple, but unfortunately my left nipple is still numb. I talked about this, I think, in my last video, and I know that numbness is something that takes time. It is very different for everybody as far as the time frame when you get sensation back and when you don't. For some people, it could take, you know, months up to a year, and some people never regain sensation back. I am still hopeful that I will regain sensation back, considering I'm just 2 months post-op. So anyways, that's just a little update concerning my breasts. But let's go ahead and move on to my tummy tuck. So speaking of numbness. I am still quite numb in a lot of places, but I have regained a lot of sensation, or at least a lot more sensation than my 1 month post-op. I feel like I have a lot more sensation in my sides and more so my upper stomach, like right below my breast and above my belly button. In that area, I definitely have sensation. In my belly button, around my belly button, that's still numb. I can like feel that I'm touching it, but as far as like the soft sensations, that's still numb. And mostly around my incision is where I'm the very most numb. So yeah, still lots of numbness that I'm dealing with, which again is very normal. It does take time for sensation to come back. And for nerves to fire up. There was just a lot of disconnection and stuff that goes on with the tummy tuck, so it definitely takes some time, but I am starting to regain quite a bit of sensation, which is nice. Next, I wanted to talk about pain. Now, I talked about in previous videos that I didn't really deal with a lot of pain with my surgery. Of course, I do have a very high tolerance for pain, so I don't want to sit here and say it's not painful at all. For some, it might be really painful, and I don't want to scare you guys either, but I'm just saying, like, I didn't really deal with too much pain. There were things that I dealt with that I described more so as uncomfortable. For me, it was uncomfortable. It's not like I would love to deal with these feelings, but they weren't crazy painful or unbearable, just uncomfortable. So as far as pain, I'm not really having any pain this month either, or this last month concerning my 2 month is what I'm gonna be talking about. But one thing I have noticed is that I do kind of get these strange, I guess you would call it pain, but more so it just feels like uncomfortable feeling in my sides as I stretch and kind of twist and turn. This mostly happens when I'm laying in bed or going to sleep, because that's when I kind of twist and turn the most. When I'm laying down, I kind of like to stretch, you know, my back and my legs and my arms and things like that. And I notice this like pooling sensation in my sides, and the only way I can describe it is it kind of feels like tearing. I know that sounds extremely scary, but that's the only thing I could think to describe it is when I kind of stretch, I feel like this pooling or this tenseness. It almost feels like tearing, but I don't really quite know what it is. My assumption is that that is happening in the areas where I got lipo, because I did get liposuction in the flanks area as well as kind of right here in this area, to help with my breast augmentation, and then those are the areas that I'm kind of feeling that tenseness. And I have learned that those who do get liposuction, that can be, interestingly enough, much more painful, or like you deal with some of the side effects a little bit longer. So I think that's really interesting, but I really think that that's where that is coming from. So with that being said though, now that I'm on my 2 months and actually going into my 3rd month here, I'm able to fully like stand up, I can stretch, I can kind of do all the things, whereas before when I was, you know, still a month post-op and still pretty swollen, there was a lot that was still, I was a little bit limited on, like reaching up, I couldn't reach up too much, or stretch too much. I mean, I could, but it was really difficult, and now I can really pretty much do all the normal things. My body feels for the most part pretty much back to normal. And that brings me to my next topic, which is swelling. So swelling's really the thing, at least in my opinion, that I feel like makes it difficult to do things, because you're so swollen, your body is so tense and tight, and you're so kind of like ballooned, that it makes it difficult to move and stretch, and so it really kind of hinders you in a lot of ways. But most of my swelling is pretty much gone. My body looks and feels pretty normal. So on the regular, my body, I'm not really dealing with a lot of swelling, with the exception of when I work out. So something I notice is that when I work out and I do go to the gym, we usually try to go 5 days a week. Sometimes it's 3 days a week. It just kind of depends on how busy we are and what we have to do in the evenings, because that's when we go. But typically 3 to 5 days a week is when we are going to the gym and working out. And even when I'm not going to the gym working out, even if I'm just doing something that's a little bit more strenuous, if you will, like even just the other night my husband and I took like a 1.5 mile walk, and then this weekend we went on a hike with our kids, and after those activities I came home and I was dealing with some swelling. So that's something I'm noticing when I'm doing a lot of activity, anything a little bit too strenuous, I do get some swelling for a couple hours after that. And in my mind that makes sense. I kind of think, and this is just my guess, I would assume this is right, but this is my assumption, is that with working out there's just a lot of extra blood flow and things like that. And so I think that due to that, that's what causes some of the swelling. And I'm not sure how long that will last. Obviously I will keep updating you guys. I do believe that I learned that, you know, swelling and things like that can take quite a long time. Like, you don't really fully recover from a tummy tuck or this kind of major surgery for even up to a year. Sometimes you'll have symptoms for up to a year. So I mean, that's kind of, I'm expecting that. But for the most part, swelling is to a minimum, if like not at all. Now, because my swelling has been down to a minimum, I actually have not been wearing my compression garment as much. Now, I was told that I should at least wear my compression garment for 3 months, if I'm remembering correctly, and so I probably should wear it a little bit more than I do, but it's kind of like a little bit of a laziness slash it's not the most comfortable thing. Like, I don't mind wearing my compression garment. I don't think it's uncomfortable, but it's also not the most comfortable thing either. So I kind of haven't been wearing it as much as I probably should, but I definitely do wear it when I am dealing with swelling. So after I get home from the gym, shower and things like that, or you know, when I feel like I'm getting more swelling, I do go ahead and put on my compression garment for a few hours, if not just sleep in my compression garment. I definitely do notice a difference in my body when I wear it. I know that wearing it helps my body. There's just something about it really holding everything in and just keeping everything tight, and it helps the shape of your body. It helps with the swelling and things like that. I don't know how that works scientifically, I don't know, but I definitely notice a difference when I'm wearing my compression garment, so I need to make more of an effort to wear it a little bit more often. The thing is, as my swelling has gone down and my body has gone down, measurement wise, my compression garment is a little bit loose on me, so I definitely, what I should do is get a smaller size, and then it'll be a little bit better for me. But anyways, just kind of out of laziness, I haven't been wearing it as often, so that's just a little update there. But like I said, even still, my swelling and everything has been at a minimum. Last thing I wanted to mention, well, kind of, I have one other thing I'll mention, but this is the last main thing I want to mention, and that was concerning my incisions. Now, my incisions are fully healed. I don't have any scabbing or anything that's open. I do still wear the tape every so often, not on the daily like before, because I have been using this silicone scar cream instead on my incisions, but everything is, you know, fully healed. They're still, you know, quite red, pinky color, which that I'm sure won't go away for quite a while. It'll take some time for that the color to kind of fade down, but for the most part, everything's healing. But I want to mention something that I noticed again when I work out, is that my incisions do get a little bit tender and sore, and I think that is due to the swelling. So after I work out and my body starts swelling, I think just the tension of the swelling on my incisions does cause some tenderness and soreness. Not pain in my opinion, but they do get a little bit tender. So that's really the last thing that I have really noticed different with this 2-month update. So I don't know if that's really helpful or interesting to you guys, but I just figured I'd let you guys know, and kind of we're keeping track of how everything's going. And then really, like I said, there was one more thing, and this isn't a major thing, but just wanted to say that since my swelling has gone down, and I did mention this with my garment thing, my body has gotten quite a bit smaller, and it's actually really, really surprising to me, because when I first got home, I obviously knew I was quite swollen, and my body, in my opinion, looked very small, but I thought that's really the size I was going to stick to. I didn't realize how swollen I really was until most of my swelling had gone down, and I'm like, wow, my body has shrunk quite a bit more than I realized, you know what I mean? So I think that's a really exciting thing. It's still kind of surprising to me in a way, because of the fact that I'm still a little bit numb. Like, I don't sometimes realize how small my body frame has gotten, because I still kind of feel almost bigger, if that makes sense. I was calling it phantom fat to a friend. I was like, I feel like I still have phantom fat. Like, I feel like it's there, but when I look, I'm like, oh, it's not there. I'm not that big. So my body frame has gotten quite a bit smaller, which is really interesting, because I just recently did a closet declutter and got rid of all my clothes that were too big on me, and really only kept clothes that fit me at the time, or that were a little bit smaller, that were kind of more so goal clothes that I can work to fit into. And now even those smallest clothes, my goal clothes, are starting to get loose on me. So that's pretty crazy to me. Now, of course, I am working out and things like that, so that's going to help my weight loss and things like that, but I really truly believe that the swelling made such a difference in my body size, because now that the swelling is gone, my frame has gotten quite a bit smaller, which is really exciting. So anyways, you guys will be able to see that in the before and after, especially concerning the 1 month to the 2 month. At least I hope you guys will be able to see the difference there. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that footage. I'll probably talk over it just a little bit, and then we'll wrap up this video. All right, here we are with the before and after footage, probably the most exciting part to you guys. And I think this is exciting too, but honestly, I'm so excited to show you guys the 1 month compared to 2 months, because it's crazy the difference it makes. But anyways, as you can see, clearly a very big difference. I'm so happy with my results. I'm in love. I want to mention real quick about my breast. You can kind of see here why I feel like it's more of a secondary surgery. In the comparison, they almost look the same, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to go very natural. Something I will note is that in my before footage, I am wearing a bra in addition to the sports bra, the pink sports bra you're seeing. In the after footage, I'm just wearing the sports bra. So that's really what I wanted for my breasts, is to look how they do when I'm wearing a bra, but without the bra, you know what I mean? So I'm really happy with the way they look, but very, very natural results, and that's what I wanted. Okay, so the exciting part, at least I think so. This is 1 month versus the 2 months post-op, and I think this is almost even more exciting than the original before and after, just because you can truly see the difference a month has made, and the swelling that has gone down here. I thought my body was looking fabulous for this 1 month, and it does, I did, but just the comparison, seeing how much swelling has gone down, and the way my body looks, you can see I've got a lot more of an hourglass shape. Yeah, I'm so happy. I love my results. I'm really excited to see how everything continues to go. Alright, that is it. That's my before and after. Every time I think about it, every time I see the footage, it makes me smile. I get so just happy. I love my results. I'm so happy with my surgery and how everything's looking so far. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video and my 2 month post-op update. I feel like I kind of sped through this, so I hope I didn't leave anything out. So definitely, if you guys have any questions to ask me or just curious about anything, I would love to answer you guys' questions. So please don't hesitate to ask in a comment below. But with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!